We create the situation. It's time to take some ownership, time to take full ownership of where we are right now, how we got here. And this applies to Magic, it applies outside of Magic. It applies to losing, playing for top 8 of a tournament. It applies to drawing too much lands. It applies to creating and stirring up a shit mob and drama on the internet. It applies to everything that we do in life. To me, it is a useful mindset that helps us change and helps us grow, and something that I see a lot of successful people use, and something that I want to take this opportunity while the spotlight is over here to talk about. So welcome in, much love, Trav. What do you want in life? Where do you want to get? How do you want to get there? You want a top 8 big Magic tournaments. You want to make a difference. You want to, what is the dream? To have a house and kids. Whatever it is, we have to look at A to B. Where are we right now? And what's interesting, and one of the things that I see a lot of people do, is not taking responsibility for where we're at. Taking responsibility for our actions, but also not taking responsibility for our results, which is an interesting thing. It's one thing to take responsibility for actions. It's another thing to say, I lost because it's my fault that I lost. It's my fault that I drew too many lands. It's my fault, extreme ownership, It's my fault that people are mad at me. It's not because I'm a victim. It's because I created this situation, and I take full ownership of the situation. There's a few things that I like about this, and I think is really great. And the main thing is, it's not like factually, objectively true, right? Obviously, there's plenty of shit outside of our control. There's other people. We don't control other people. We don't control the situation we're born in. We don't control the genetics we're born in. We don't control the financial and situation that we're born in. We don't control how we were raised necessarily, or the thoughts that we have. However, we get to a point where, as we grow as adults, we have our conscious mind versus our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is programmed with all these beliefs. Subconscious mind is programmed with how we're raised and all these things that we see. But we have the conscious mind that has the able to shape our reality. It has the ability to order us around. It has the ability to do certain things and make certain things happen. And there's a lot of friction with the conscious mind versus the unconscious mind. And that's what free will is, and where free will comes from, I believe. So while it's not necessarily true, I think that it's very useful. So if I am taking responsibility for losing rather than blaming it on bad luck and variance and so on, I start to look deeper for the reasons why I lost. And sometimes I find a misplay here, sometimes I find a mistake there, sometimes I find a missed sideboard. Sometimes I don't find anything and I get creative. Like, what if I had bluffed my opponent in this way? Or what if I had played another deck? And then you can also take step backs further and say, okay, I created this situation by becoming emotionally invested in Magic tournaments and coming to this tournament. I didn't have to do that, right? I got mana screwed because I chose to come to this tournament and put a lot of my emotions on a thing that is outside of my control. The choice to bet on something outside of my control is under my control, right? Even the random stuff, if I'm investing in it, I chose to invest in that, right? So that's one of the things that it does, is it allows you to identify a lot more mistakes, and it allows you to identify a lot more mistakes that you're making, or better plays that you could have done when, maybe some stuff is outside of your control, but you signed up for that to play that game. Another reason why this is beneficial is you start taking responsibility for everything and say, I am in this sort of shape because I'm in this sort of shape. These are my relationships because that's what I've chosen. For one, it leads you towards self-improvement and self-development and self-discovery and trying to work and trying to improve on certain things, right? And one of the beautiful things about that scientists have discovered is we can actually change our genes and pass those genes on to the next generation, and that's called epigenetics. You take something like Cancer is usually not a birth thing. It's a gradual degradation of our cells and genes, and that's a form of epigenetics. But on the flip side, we also have control over improving our genes, making ourselves smarter, making ourselves stronger, and actually changing the structure. And that's a consequence of coming out of the extreme ownership. Like, a lot of people will blame their genes, but you actually have some scientists saying you have some control over your genes, for instance. That's something to come out of extreme ownership, right? So let's step outside of Magic, or outside of playing the game, and comment on the stuff that I've gone through in Magic, where, on one hand, it's like I wasn't adding people, I wasn't tagging people, I wasn't inciting people to go talk to people, and a lot of that stuff happened to me. Swarms, people smearing me and targeting me and making me. On the other hand, like, I'm not the victim. I don't want to be a victim. I want to take full control and responsibility for creating this situation, and say that everything that I did led up to it. I didn't have to make the group. I could have changed my behavior in monitoring it. The stuff that got pulled out. I didn't have to make videos about. I didn't have to make videos about French Revolution and Salem witch trials and characterize people as witch hunting. And clearly, I feel that it seems like I pretty obviously created the reality of people coming after me, and that's an empowering thing, because I can look at it in a couple ways. Of one, okay. If this is under my control, it's preventable, right? And I can stop it. And two, if it's under my control, and I've done this several times, perhaps that I want to do this for some reason, and maybe I enjoy, and I start to be more creative and think about the why. Why did I do this? Why did I wish for this? Was I bored? Did I want to stir up shit? Did I want to fight people on the internet? Why did I allow that to happen? Is it because I believed that controversy marketing is good? Is it because I was hoping to get myself banned so that I could go back to Hawaii sooner? Is it because, it starts to be a deep reflective thing where, instead of thinking about the people who generated the most attention towards me and clamoring for action against me, I'm more thinking about myself and what I could have done different, or what I can do from here, and why. I just find it very empowering to say that I created the situation, or you created the situation that you're in, and take full responsibility for it. That said, I want to talk about a couple other mindsets and how it can coexist with having a relationship of God, and God being in control, and God having a plan. And also the serenity prayer, God grant me the courage to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Saying that, yo, dude, you don't actually have control over everything, and you need to recognize that. But I think how that can coexist with that is, I have control over my reality. I have control over my situation. I don't have control over other people. I don't have control, and there's certain things that I don't have control over. Maybe there's certain behavior or actions that are ingrained. I don't necessarily have the best control over that, but I think it's possible to coexist. I control my own situation. I create my reality, and at the same time, that to have a belief in God, and to have a belief in me not having control over other people's situations, not having control over other people's reality, courage to change my own situations, change my own reality, and the serenity accept that I can't change other people's realities, other people's situations, but I do have the wisdom to tell that apart. So I hope you find that useful. I invite you to take a minute and to think about how you view the world, and how your situation, and how you can improve it, and how you want to make it better, and how taking extreme ownership of your life could be to your benefit. If you think it's a bunch of bullshit, you can comment that down there as well. Appreciate that. I want to let you guys know who made it through this video, that one, I appreciate you. Two, if you like this sort of a thing, more the mental exercise and mindset analysis and life development, you should check out my other channel, youtube.com/TravisWoo. I also have a new 1-year transformation life coaching course, audio course, video. It's more of an audio course. Videos like this, but really structured from start to finish. And there's should be a link to that down there below as well. You can check it out. Chance to get on the phone with me. You know, I want to use everything that's happened and everything, the situation that I've created, to make a bigger difference and make a better change, and try to help you guys as much as possible. So appreciate you, want to thank you, and we will talk soon. Peace out.